Today, I'm going to reveal the 5 most hidden and strange sexual habits of chosen ones. This isn't theory. This is lived truth, a truth most people would never dare speak out loud. Because when it comes to sexuality, spirituality loves to preach purity, control, abstinence. But no one dares to speak about what really happens when a chosen soul tries to exist inside a human body, vibrating on frequencies that this world simply can't handle. This is the hidden side of the chosen ones, the side buried beneath layers of secrecy, desires that don't fit into any known pattern, encounters that feel cosmic rather than physical, instincts that pulse like ancient codes deeply embedded in your DNA. If you've ever felt like your sexuality doesn't belong in this world, you need to stay until the end, because what I'm about to reveal could alter forever how you understand yourself. Before we dive in, hit that like button to strengthen this spiritual frequency, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment 99 below, because spiritually, the number 99 symbolizes the completion of a powerful cycle, and it's time you completed yours. First habit: energetic sexual encounters with invisible beings. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, your heart pounding, your skin electrified, but the room was empty? No one was there, no sound, no touch. Yet your body felt like it had just been through an intimate encounter you can't explain. If that has happened to you, you're not crazy. You're not imagining things. You are simply experiencing one of the most hidden, misunderstood, and forbidden dimensions of being a chosen one. Many chosen ones live through energetic sexual encounters with invisible beings, spirits, ancestors, guides, or entities from dimensions where physical bodies are irrelevant. These experiences don't follow human logic. They don't ask for permission, they just happen. And when they do, they leave marks not on your skin, but deep inside your soul. You might be lying still, eyes closed, but suddenly, a wave of presence fills the room. You feel touched, kissed, embraced, yet no physical hands are there. For some, it's a gentle, magnetic pull, like being wrapped in an aura of warmth and ecstasy. For others, it feels like an intense surge of energy, almost overwhelming, as if something ancient has claimed a part of you you didn't know existed. These are not ordinary dreams. They are not products of your imagination. These are soul-level unions that transcend the limits of time, space, and flesh. It's the spirit realm choosing to merge with you, using your own body as the portal. But here's the secret no one dares to admit. Not every entity that seeks you out has pure intentions. Some come to heal, some come to teach, but others, they come to feed. The chosen ones, with their heightened spiritual sensitivity, become magnets for energies roaming the unseen realms. Your light calls them in, your frequency attracts them, and your loneliness makes you vulnerable. That's why these encounters can feel blissful one night and draining the next. You might wake up feeling empowered, charged with an energy that lingers for days, or you might feel exhausted, invaded, like something took a piece of you while you slept. In ancient traditions, this was never a mystery. Shamans, priestesses, and mystics knew that sexual energy is the purest form of life force. And when a chosen one's body becomes activated, it sends out a signal, an energetic invitation to beings who operate beyond human sight. Some would call these beings spirit lovers. Others might warn you about energetic parasites. But the truth is more complex. These encounters are not accidents. They are reflections of your own inner vibration. They happen when your soul is seeking something, even if your mind doesn't understand what. But here's the danger that no one talks about. Opening these portals without awareness can lead you into spiritual entanglements you're not prepared for, because every energetic union creates a cord, a thread, an imprint. And if you don't know how to cleanse, how to release, you might find yourself carrying energies that don't belong to you. Energies that can distort your desires, your emotions, your very sense of self. This is the first hidden sexual habit of the chosen ones. The secret energetic exchanges that happen in the silence of the night. with entities that see beyond your body, tapping into the essence of who you are. But now, I need you to pause and ask yourself, have you ever felt a presence touch you in a way no human ever could? Have you ever awakened with a knowing, deep, unexplainable, that you've just been in contact with something otherworldly? Because what I'm about to reveal next will go even deeper. The next habit is not about what visits you in the night. It's about a force inside you that shuts down the physical world completely. And when it happens, you'll begin to understand why most chosen ones are trapped in a cycle of silent, involuntary abstinence. Don't move. The next revelation might explain years of confusion you've never dared to speak about. Second habit, the silent abstinence imposed by the soul. Have you ever been face to face with someone you deeply desired? You felt the chemistry. The moment was perfect. But then, suddenly, your body froze. Not from fear, not from shame, but from something deeper, something that whispered from the core of your being. Not now, not this person. This is not rejection. This is not insecurity. This is the silent abstinence imposed by the soul. For chosen ones, intimacy is never just skin on skin. It's an energetic fusion, a spiritual merge that reaches far beyond the surface. And when the energy doesn't align, when the vibration of the other person threatens to disrupt your spiritual frequency, your body, without warning, activates a powerful defense mechanism. It shuts down, completely. This phenomenon has been misunderstood for centuries. Society has labeled it as frigidity, coldness, detachment. But those labels are lies designed for people who live disconnected from energy. The truth is, your soul is protecting itself from a connection that would fragment your essence, distort your vibration, and leave scars not on your body, but on your aura. Many chosen ones have spent years in silence, questioning themselves, wondering why they can feel desire burning inside, but when the moment comes to act, the flame extinguishes itself. Not because they don't want it, but because the body refuses to betray the soul. And here lies the mystery that no one dares to address. Chosen ones are wired for sacred intimacy, not casual, not superficial. Every union imprints a code onto their spiritual DNA. Every touch carries a weight, a responsibility, a contract that the chosen one feels, even when the other person doesn't. That's why this abstinence can last months, sometimes years. It's not punishment, it's not repression. It's a period of energetic recalibration, where your soul refuses to allow entry to energies that would dilute your power. But let's talk about the hidden cost, because this silence comes with a heavy price. The world doesn't understand abstinence that isn't chosen. Friends will ask if you've lost interest in love. Family will wonder if something is wrong with you. Potential partners will feel rejected, confused by the invisible wall that suddenly appears between you and them. But none of them see what's really happening. They don't see the sacred dialogue between your soul and your body, the inner war where your essence fights to remain intact. Because for chosen ones, every act of intimacy is a spiritual contract, and entering into a false contract is more dangerous than solitude itself. Now, here's where it gets even more complex. Sometimes this abstinence doesn't come because the other person is wrong. Sometimes it's because you're still in the process of remembering who you are. Your energy is still rearranging, your soul is still purifying, and the universe knows that any premature connection could derail your alignment. It's like a sacred lock placed upon you, not as a punishment, but as a seal of protection, because your energy is too rare to be scattered in meaningless encounters. It demands depth, it demands truth, it demands soul recognition. And yet, as months turn into years, this silent abstinence begins to test you. You start questioning your worth. You wonder if you are broken. You fear that you are destined to be alone. But this, my friend, is the greatest illusion, because in the silence, a profound transformation is taking place. The chosen one's abstinence is not emptiness, it's gestation. a sacred cocoon where your soul weaves a new blueprint for intimacy, one that is not tainted by trauma, not diluted by ego, but crafted for a connection that is not just carnal, but cosmic. Now let me ask you, have you felt this invisible wall before? That moment when your mind says yes, your body says yes, but your soul, without mercy, says no. Because if you have, you're not defective, you're not cursed. You are being prepared for a union that this world isn't ready to understand. And what I'm about to tell you next will take you even deeper. Because while some chosen ones are kept in abstinence by divine protection, others are pulled, magnetically, towards people who carry wounds that are not theirs to heal. The next habit will reveal why your soul keeps attracting pain disguised as love. Stay with me, because what's coming might explain every chaotic relationship you've ever lived through. Third habit, the magnetic attraction to wounded souls. Why do chosen ones keep falling for people who are broken? Why does your heart feel an uncontrollable pull towards those who are drowning in their own darkness? It's not a fetish. It's not a savior complex. It's something much deeper, something ancient, a soul-level radar for pain. You walk into a room, and without even knowing how, you feel it. The weight someone carries, the silent scream behind their smile. Their unspoken wounds echo in frequencies only your spirit can detect. And before you can think, you are drawn in, like a healer who senses a wound begging to be touched. But here's the truth. That attraction is not random. It's karmic. Chosen ones are born with a spiritual blueprint designed for transformation. You carry light codes that, when in proximity to someone's pain, activate a healing current. It's not something you choose, it's something you are. And because of this, broken souls are magnetized to you. They feel it, even if they don't understand it. To them, being near you feels like relief, like a bandage over a wound, like a breath after suffocating for years. But here's where the danger begins. While you're trying to mend them, you start absorbing their weight. You give, you carry. You burn yourself at both ends, and most of the time, they don't even notice the toll it takes on you. What starts as a deep connection slowly turns into a spiritual transaction where you give everything, your time, your energy, your body, in a desperate attempt to fuse with their pain, to fix it, to cleanse it. But intimacy, in these cases, becomes a battlefield. Sex turns into a ritual of healing, but also of self-sacrifice. You enter their wounds hoping to patch them up, but every touch, every embrace leaves you more fragmented. And when the mission is over, when their broken pieces start falling into place, they often leave. Sometimes with gratitude, sometimes with indifference, but always leaving you with an emptiness that words can't explain. Because you didn't just give your affection. You gave parts of your soul, pieces of yourself that you never got back. And here's the painful cycle most chosen ones don't realize. You keep attracting broken souls because your energy is still broadcasting, "I can fix you." It's an unconscious signal, a beacon that calls out to every wounded heart. And the more you heal others, the more you feel unworthy of receiving that same healing in return. But you need to understand this. Not every person you heal is meant to stay. Not every soul you mend is your soulmate. Some people come into your life not for love, but for correction. Their purpose is to receive, yours is to release. But if you don't recognize this pattern, you'll remain trapped in a loop of intense, chaotic relationships, each one leaving you a little more drained, a little more disconnected from your own essence. And yet, there's another layer that few chosen ones are willing to face. Sometimes it's not about them. Sometimes it's about you. You're not just drawn to their pain, you are drawn to your reflection in their wounds. Because deep inside, part of you believes that healing them will finally heal you. It's an unconscious bargain, a silent hope that by fixing what's broken in them, you can fix what feels broken in you. But this is the ultimate deception. Because you can't heal yourself through someone else's redemption, You can't patch your wounds by stitching theirs. The true healing begins when you stop choosing relationships as rescue missions. So ask yourself, how many times have you mistaken intensity for connection? How many times have you mistaken chaos for passion? How many times have you burned yourself trying to ignite someone else's light? The Chosen One's magnetic pull to wounded souls is not a curse. It's a sign of your healing power. But when you misuse that power, you end up sacrificing your own peace. Now here's the twist. This attraction to brokenness doesn't always manifest in human relationships. Sometimes it manifests through ancient rituals, practices where sex becomes a sacred invocation, a ceremony not of healing others, but of awakening dormant forces within yourself. And what I'm about to reveal next is the secret that turns ordinary intimacy into rituals of energy transmutation, where the Chosen Ones stop being healers of others and become architects of their own spiritual rebirth. Get ready, because the next habit will unlock a dimension of sexuality that modern society is too afraid to even name. Fourth habit, sexual rituals as portals of energy activation. For most people, sex is just a moment, an escape, a fleeting rush of pleasure that begins and ends in the body. But for the Chosen Ones, sex is not a moment. It's a portal. It's a ceremony where the physical becomes alchemy, a sacred ritual where energy is not just exchanged, it's activated, it's transmuted. It's unleashed into dimensions that words can't reach. You see, the Chosen Ones were never designed to experience intimacy the way the world does. Every touch, every breath, every climax. It's not just sensation, it's a spell being cast. Long before modern society reduced sex to entertainment, ancient civilizations understood its true power. The priestesses of the moon, the tantric mystics, the shamans of forgotten tribes. They all knew that when a chosen soul unites the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine in conscious union, they don't just experience pleasure, they open portals. Candles are not just ambiance, they are beacons that signal to the spirit realm. Crystals are not just beautiful stones, they are frequency amplifiers, placed intentionally on the body to channel specific energies. Mantras are whispered, not to seduce, but to summon forces that transcend this reality. During these rituals, the sexual act becomes a sacred architecture. Every movement is designed, every rhythm is a language, every breath is a key unlocking layers of the soul, and the orgasm, the climax, is not an ending. It's the ignition point, a cosmic explosion where the ego dissolves and the Chosen One becomes pure vibration, connected to all that exists. But here's where the hidden truth lies. This power is dangerous, because opening energetic portals through sexuality is not a game. It's not a trend. It's not something you dabble in without reverence. When done without consciousness, when done out of ego, these portals can attract forces that are not ready to be handled. You might think you're just experimenting, but in reality, you could be inviting entities that don't seek to heal, but to feed. That's why, throughout history, these rituals were only passed down to those who were prepared, those who had tamed their shadows, those who understood that sex is not just about taking, it's about offering. In the hands of a Chosen One who is aware, sexual energy becomes a tool for manifestation, a weapon for healing, a bridge between realms. But in the hands of one who is fragmented, it becomes a gateway to chaos, where unresolved traumas hijack the ritual, and instead of ascending, the soul gets trapped in loops of addiction, confusion, and energetic entanglements. This is why many Chosen Ones, even without knowing these ancient practices, naturally feel the urge to ritualize intimacy. Lighting a candle before union, breathing in synchrony, visualizing colors, symbols, sacred geometry,